Hi, this is an apology video where I admit I was wrong about something. I recently had a disagreement in the comment section of a Mark 25 practical accuracy review by 9-Hole Reviews. I was a little bit skeptical about the grouping that they had displayed as their bench-rested test of the firearm for Zero. Believe that they measured it at 4.8 inches for a 5-shot group. So I made an ass of myself with a comment, and I was certain that with my SIG P228 that I'd be able to beat that no problem. And they challenged me to. Amazingly enough, they actually replied. So I went out to the range and spent the better part of my afternoon trying and failing to prove them wrong. If you guys are watching, I am sorry. I was wrong. I apologize for implying that your gun was broken or that your ammunition may have been manufactured in the Khyber Pass. So that was my bad. Some interesting data from my range trip. Firing my SIG P228, which is the compact version of the P226 that the Mark 25 is based off of. I fired 7 5-shot groups from a bench rest, not a mechanical rest, but an actual rest with an adjustable elevation, and 2 10-round groups. I had intended on doing more, but I was running low on ammunition, and it's incredibly cold out because it's winter in Alaska. So I cut that short. I might do another video in the future. This one's probably going to run long already. I have some footage from the range. So my average for my 7 5-shot groups was a 4.78 inches, nearly identical to 9-Hole Reviews 4.8 inch test group, and basically just, perfectly confirmed what they had thought. But the ego was in charge for most of the range trip, so I kept trying and trying and trying. I had a spread from a high of 5.56 inches for 5 shots at 27 yards, 25 meters, sorry. And a best group of 4.06 inches, center to center extreme spread. I did not discount any flyers, anything, even if I knew it was shooter induced. Everything was included. The 2 10-round groups that I fired were a high of 6.09 inches and a low of 5.60 inches for an average of 5.84 inches. Fairly consistent. An inch larger extreme spread than my 5-round groups, but that makes sense, especially if you factor in shooter fatigue. About 6 or 7 degrees Fahrenheit. It was pretty cold out. Wasn't sure if maybe it was just me, so I decided to do what I do and fall back on my HK, my Heckler and Koch, which is how it's pronounced, if you speak English. So I used my HK P30L variant 1 light lem trigger, and I fired 5 5-round groups, starting with a high extreme spread of 3.59 inches. My best group was 2.25 inches, and that averages out to 2.90 inches, so significantly better in the 5-round group category than my 228. Ammunition I was using was Federal aluminum, 115 grain. It's pretty light loaded. Not sure if that may have had something to do with it. The P30 actually has a stepped chamber, which crimps the end of the case slightly as it expands. There's a lot of different reasons that they claim. Probably has some effect on accuracy, but that is a factor, one of the variables. I did fire 2 10-round groups from my P30. This was towards the end of the day. I really don't count them in this, although I did measure them. Shooter fatigue took over. My 10-round groups of the P30 had extreme vertical stringing, all the way off the top of the paper. I had a 6.2 inch group and a 5.1 inch group for a 5.65 inch average, but that's not representative of the firearm. That was definitely me just freezing let's see. That's the data that I have on those two pistols. Duty service pistols. The P228 is considered a compact. It was, I believe, an FBI duty pistol for a while. I'm going to go ahead and include after this videos showing complete videos showing placing my target, walking back to the shooting line, firing my groups, and then returning to the target to show the effect. I'll show the worst and best 5-shot groups for the P228 and the P30. Everything in between is obviously going to fall within that and kind of fill in the average, so it's a waste of time to put all that in there. And at the end of the video, which will have a hyperlink down in a comment in the comment section, is going to be a couple of bonus videos testing my Mark 23, which is actually my concealed carry weapon. So 9-hole, if you're watching this, you guys have to test a Mark 23 now, because you have to beat me. You got to beat it. Although, I'm using an RMR, because I'm cheating, so deal with it. Alright guys, again, sorry. I shouldn't have talked out my rear end, but it's the internet. What are you going to do? Hope you guys enjoy the videos and actually watch them, and please leave a comment if you do.